that first, and then when you're ready, you can let us know, okay? So just a little bit about me. I've been in title for 36 years, in the field, behind a desk, in customer service. So I've kind of been in all areas of the title industry. And what I love most, I think, is this part. It's really important. I think we sometimes think, well, we don't have to look at that because escrow is going to handle it, or we don't have to worry about it because title is going to have a conversation, if need be, with the list agent, particularly if there's anything that needs to be known by me, maybe the buyer's agent, or even the listing agent sometimes doesn't even look at the prelim. Yeah. So I always go into my meeting saying, it's really important for you to know what's going on, okay? Even if you're representing the buyer, because if the buyer asks you, hey, what's going on with 27644 Norwood, I know we're in escrow, but is there anything I should be worried about? And then you're kind of like, I haven't even looked at that prelim yet. Maybe I should look at it, right? So I like my agents to really understand what to look for. And then it's like 26 pages of stuff that doesn't concern you. And it's really good to kind of go over the top 5 pages that you'll need to look for certain information. Okay, so we'll go that particularly.
I hate the easements.
Yeah.
I sold a house with an easement to a buyer, and I was like, oh, do you still want it? You know?
Remember, most properties have some kind of easement most of the time. Yeah. And because remember, if it's an Edison pole in the backyard, if it's any type of public utility, you know.
It wasn't like that.
What was it?
So this owner owned both properties, but then he split the property and he lived in one and sold the other one. And I guess the line was like over like where they walk to their entrance.
So he had access.
And I was like, that doesn't make sense. He has part of the sidewalk to enter the home. It just didn't make sense.
And there was a recorded easement.
Yes.
And so after the fact, did your buyer have something to say to you about it? Like, why didn't you tell me? Or, I mean, it's on there.
No, it was during escrow. I asked him, do you still want it? And he was okay with it. He was fine with it.
Because I'd have to think that owner, yes, he has access, but probably only if something arose that he needed to be there for. I don't think that they really utilize it. You know what I'm saying? But being that he did split the parcels, he created that easement for himself.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And a lot of times I get asked when there's an agent representing a buyer, hey, can this easement be taken off the property?
Did that happen?
So basically let's say your buyer still wanted the home, but they wanted to possibly try to get this easement taken off. They would have to deal with the planning department, and it's a long process. I don't know the cost. I don't know the timeline, but I know that there is a way where they can deal with the planning department, where they would go through to try to get this easement taken off.
Okay, so that's good.
So I don't know what that looks like for that owner who owned that easement. I mean, would he agree to get it taken off? I don't know. But there is, I was already asked, can a buyer, basically try to get an easement taken off? The answer is yes, but the process is what I don't know. And it's a long time, and if it ever really, really does happen.
Definitely can't happen in 45 days.
In a timely manner to closure escrow, right?
2 or 3 months for sure.
But if it was an older easement, I mean, the house was old, and I'm sure they would probably say yes to it because.
Perhaps. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't even know the process of that.
Yeah.
But it's important to at least understand and know what you're looking for, right? And know that that's there.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, right.
As long as the other person have to be agreed to get that.
To start the process. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So you've already taken a listing on this property on Norwood Court in Highland. Kind of giving a hypothetical. You've taken the listing, you've got your contract signed. Now it's time to say, hey, Marlena, I just took a listing on Norwood, 27644 Norwood in Highland. I need to order the prelim. So the misconception is a lot of times agents think that they're supposed to go to the listing appointment with the prelim in hand. But that's not the way it works, because it's we've got to generate it. And let's just say you don't get that listing. Well, now we've got a floating prelim. So I'll tell you the process for that. If you need something like this for your listing appointment, I have that. But for a prelim, the agents just know I need a prelim and I'm going on a listing appointment, so I need to order it now. But the right answer is you take the listing and then you call me and you say, Marlene, I need to open a title with you. I just taken a listing at 27644. I'd like to get it started. Okay? So in this case right here, it looks like I'm doing a refi for this file. The top right is my information, my title officer. Marlene, I gave you a new title on Norwood, but there's a person by the name of Jamila. They looks like it went to them. Well, that is my title officer who's in the office creating and doing this work. Okay, so I am the rep representing you, the agents. Jamila has the staff that is working to create this prelim. Okay,
Like a team,
my team.
part of your team.
Correct, absolutely. And our order number 24883. So each property is assigned an order number to each prelim. Okay, Marlena, I have a question on 24883. Can you help me out? Boom, I would 24883, pull it up, have the prelim here, and we'd have a discussion about it. Okay. Left-hand side is always going to be where your escrow information is and who your escrow officer is. And of course, if they submit their escrow reference number. Property address, making sure that that property is, of course, your correct property in question.
By the way, Star is a great name for an escrow officer.
Star. Yeah, it is, right?
You want to work with stars.
Yeah. Okay, so let me take you down to this data. So remind you, this is the first page. This is the information you want to make sure is true and correct at the top. And then right here where it says dated as of the 28th day of April 2026. Okay, today is
May
May
11th.
Okay, so this is good. I just received this prelim today. This property is in San Bernardino County. And that dated date right there is what how far to date the county is in updating their records.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so today's date,
It was
let's
2
say
weeks ago.
like 2 weeks ago, basically. So San Bernardino County, we know it takes about 2 weeks to update the information.
Yeah.
So let's just say you open today, and within that window of 2 weeks, you're like, Marlena, my client said they might have like a child support lien.
Mhm.
Oh, well, if it's recorded within that 2 weeks, it's not gonna show.
Right.
Okay, but remember, every time that you're in escrow and you're getting ready to close, your escrow company is always gonna order a updated prelim. The updated prelim would have a date obviously closer to your closing date, and that's if anything else were to pop up on this prelim, it would show then. Okay, so make sure that you understand that dated date is about 2 weeks for San Bernardino to be updated.
Sorry, it's kind of funky here.
glitching or something.
Well, now it's making pages 2 and 3 side by side instead of just being single, so we'll just do it this way. This is page 2, right?
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so right here on page 2, all you're gonna worry about here is making sure that that parcel number, the APN number matches your property in question, okay?
Okay.
The address, making sure that that is correct, just so you'll have knowledge of, okay, I checked this address and this is the APN that matches, okay? And then item number 3 is your vesting. So,
Great vesting.
right, the Roblar Family 2026 Revocable Living Trust, a living trust of which Magdalena de la Cruz de Revolar is the trustee.
De la Cruz.
De la Cruz
Revolar.
Revelar.
That's
Oh, is
awesome.
it Revelar? Revelar, yeah, you're right.
But that's just like a great name. Great names all over this prelim.
Right, so that is your vesting. So a lot of times I get asked from agents, hey, what's the vesting on this property? Because here's the deal, before you go on that listing appointment, you should always check your profile to make sure who you have that appointment with is the correct party as to who's gonna be signing your contract. And I get asked that question all the time. And I don't really know your contract enough to know how you're supposed to
Right.
get it signed. Yeah, correct, get it right, getting written up. But right here, I just know that I would imagine that your person is going to be Magdalena, right? So if Magdalena is not signing your contract, then we're gonna have the addendum that's gonna have to show what the correct vesting, or I'm sorry, what the correct person to sign that contract would be. Okay?
So that property is in a trust.
Because this property's in a trust, okay? So then what's gonna have to happen through this transaction is the agent will submit the trust to escrow and the trust cert to escrow, so we could know the signers and everything that needs to be done through this transaction.
Page 3?
Page 3, please. Page 3 is your tax information. So in this case, you'll see number 2, the general taxes and assessments for the fiscal year 25 and 26 are paid. If you're in escrow and there's one of these installments that's showing unpaid or delinquent, what happens is escrow will get the demand, show the amount that has to be paid, and that will be collected through the proceeds to pay the taxes, not through the transaction. Okay? Go down, there's your CC&Rs, there is your easement, water rights claim, title, water under said land. Whether it's not shown, that's always gonna state there. So if there was water rights, it would explain it right here. Okay? Item number 7 is our deed of trust. So let's see, in 2019, it looks like Magdalena took a loan out for this property of $211,200. Well, is that the sales price that she paid? The answer is probably no, but that's the amount that she took out that loan. So she was insured based on that amount, and so was her lender. They each got a title policy to show that that is the amount that they took out of that loan. Okay? So $211,200. Is that the amount that's owed today? Again, no. What the escrow company will do is order the demand to show what the payoff amount is and make sure that that is paid through the transaction. Okay, so item number 8 is interesting because I'm sure that it's probably a direct hit just because of the AKA. So it's tax lien for the state taxes against Magdalena Rivera, AKA Magdalena, in the amount of $4,754.02. So that was recorded in October of 2025. Could the amount be close to that? Yes. Is that probably our person? Yes. So what happens is if you click on the blue hyperlinks of these files right here, click on that really quick, and we open this, we're gonna look at the body of this tax lien. And do you see the last 4 digits, 8637? Where it says identifying number? That right there, if her social, the last 4 digits match with that, then we know it's a direct hit. And again, we cannot close this transaction until those taxes, those back taxes, that lien has been paid. So again, escrow will get a demand from the state, make sure that we pay it. Franchise tax board, get a demand and make sure that it's paid through the transaction. Now, we never say that that is a direct hit until item number 9.
Yeah.
We'll show you.
Need a second, where did I go?
There we go. The statement of information is necessary to complete the search and examination of title under this order. Any title search includes matters that are indexed by name only, and having completed a statement of information assists us in the elimination of certain matters which appear to involve the parties, but in fact, another party with the same similar name. So, statement of information is the essential document that title needs in order to do process of elimination. So let's just say you've now taken this listing, your contract is signed. Marlene, I need a prelim opened. I just took a listing on Norwood. And I would say to you, okay, perfect. I'll get the prelim ordered. Can you get me the SI over right away? Because what is that doing? This is, if you get it to me right away and not wait for escrow in whatever timeline that they have to open your escrow, send out your disclosures, because in the disclosure packet goes the statement of information. But what if you have it in your listing presentation, you get it signed, and then you get your clients to sign it right there, you're sending that to me, I'm sending it to my title unit, and they're gonna do process of elimination immediately. Then we don't have to worry, let's just say Magdalena's, that lien wasn't hers, we would take it right off because we got that SI. Then we can move forward from there. Okay, does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, you got the right information
Mm-hmm.
to Magdalena.
Exactly. So yeah, so in this case right here, what we're seeing thus far is there's a state tax lien, there's an open deed of trust, the taxes are paid.
We're here at 9 on that's fine.
Yep.
Page, and then that goes for next page.
So far, that's all you're worried about, is making sure that deed of trust is paid, that tax lien, if it's a directed, is paid, making sure those taxes are paid. In this case, they're showing paid, and you're good to go. So now you've submitted the statement of information. What happens, once we run it to make sure that that lien is actually hers, other liens might pop up. So then what happens is, let's just say she's got also a federal state tax lien, let's just say she's got a child support lien, that is going to be added to this prelim as items additionally underneath that deed of trust. Everything is junior to the deed of trust. So those items will be added when we get the SI. If there are in fact any more liens, they'll be added here once we receive it.
Okay.
Let's see. So that's basically, honestly, this is for, mainly for us. The only thing you need to worry about is making sure that you see what liens are against this property.
Legal description.
And the legal description, yeah, we went over that. Making sure that that legal is matching your address.
So like the 4 first pages, right?
Correct, exactly. Yep. And if you ever have any questions, even if you have I have a lot of clients of mine that call me because they're on the buy side and they have a prelim in front of them from another company. I have no problem looking over that prelim and reviewing it for you and saying, here's what you need to look out for. Okay? Awesome.
Do you guys show boundaries of the property, like the?
So technically, all of them are kind of like this.
Just like the square?
Yeah, they just they can show you if you need like a clear picture or a satellite picture, or you'd like us to do that, then we have no problem with that. I'd handle that all the time.
Oh, really?
Now, the problem is though, like I think sometimes agents want like a really clear defined line of the property. That's not even feasible unless you get a surveyor out to the property.
That's what I was
But
thinking.
as far as, I've done this for a lot of agents where we do the plat map and then I will go to a satellite image and do the best I can of like, okay, here's where the boundaries are.
I'm the buyer's agent for this property and we just entered escrow. We opened escrow and he wants to know the boundaries of the property because it's just like on a hill and then it's like you can't really tell where the boundaries
And
are.
if you want that accurate, you have to get a surveyor out to the property. There's just no other way to do it.
Okay.
Even if the system kind of had it exact, you still, when you're there, you're going from a picture to the lot lines. It'd be
you still
impossible to
can.
do, so yeah. We can give a good idea.
Do you have that on your app, like a way of telling the boundaries or no?
Well, it will show the boundaries. I'm just saying if you're talking about, I want to know where
The
this
line,
property
yes,
line is and you're
the
there,
line.
the property, the only way to get that accurate is from a surveyor.
How much, do you know how much they cost?
They're like $750 or something.
$750? Okay, I'm gonna let them know.
Yeah.
Do you have any contacts for
Mhm.
surveyors? Can I have
Yeah, I'll
some?
get you.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome.
That's a struggle.
Let's move into really quick your
Yeah, any other questions about that?
yeah, any other questions about the prelim? Sorry, I know you missed a little bit of it.
Yeah, I had a
So basically,
call.
it's just like showing,
Summarizing like.
summarizing. Oh, and by the way, I also give you a summarize. So let's just say you're going on a listing appointment
Mhm.
and again, a lot of agents will say, can I get a prelim because I'm going on a listing appointment? I'll say, no, but what I can do is give you a snapshot report. The snapshot report is a single page, it's beautiful, single page showing you bullet points. Taxes are paid, there's no foreclosure, no HOA liens, there's a deed of trust for $203,000. There's a second deed of trust for $50,000. Everything specifically that is shown on the prelim, I will do a snapshot report for you. That way you'll have that to look at, to know what when you go to your listing appointment, what that property has against it or what your clients owe. Okay?
Okay, we're gonna go over like 4 tools that you guys should have, all free from Title.
Okay.
They're just amazing things that you should have. These are the best ones.
I like this.
They're just great. So this one is Agent One. You can scan that QR code that's right there, and that will give you a link to your phone. So this is a phone. It's a phone app. It also works from your desktop browser as well. So you can log in from there. It's gonna be the same login as you have in your app. And this app is for net sheets, buyer's net sheets, seller's net sheets, buyers, mortgage costs, what their costs are gonna be. I don't even know how many calculators are on there. It's like got 40 different calculators.
That's
You
online
could-
mortgage?
Yeah, you have it? Okay. Do you have this app? You downloaded this
I
one?
have like 3 different kinds or all kinds.
This is one of the best.
Let me
Couple,
see.
here, if you want to scan the quote,
Yeah,
and
I'm
I'll
gonna
switch
do
pages.
that. Okay.
It's got flyers it's awesome when you go into, like, let's say you have a listing. So you can go in there, you can get a seller's net sheet for your client. You can, for your open houses, it's got tons of flyers and things that you can download to put, this is what a seller's net sheet would look like. But what's awesome is you can put in your name, your branding, your colors, your photo, so everything is branded for you, right? Mine just says SoCal Title because it's branded for me, but you guys can have that as your branding. It's got all of these free flyers you can put in there. I like this one, it's a home report. So if you have a home listing, you can put in an address. It tells you all about what schools are nearby, what shopping is nearby, anything you guys would want for a listing. It's got a lot of these flyers that you can just put on your social media, just content to share if you guys are big into social media.
If you guys were at the round table last, sorry, Jeremiah, if you guys were at the round table last month, you'll see that these are the same flyers that Lala actually pulled down.
Yes,
And they
look
changed
similar.
that. Remember that the mortgage rates, everything is updated.
Oh, God.
So great flyers. And you don't have to want this one. I like that intro. Okay, let's go to this one next. This is TitlePro247.com. This is property profiles, deeds of trust. Anytime you're looking into a property, all the information can be found on the site. What I use it mostly for is property profiles and then also this tax sheet.
So this tax sheet is the #1 tax sheet that we get asked for. I think the most calls that we get, can I get a tax sheet on 1234 Main Street? And here's why. So go ahead.
Good. Okay, so it shows current, you can do current taxes. You can also do what the taxes would be based on a new sales price. So if the property's gonna sell for 900,000, you put in 900,000, and then it calculates it, and it shows you both side by side, currently where you're at and what the new estimate would be. But one is the tax rate. Everyone always wants to know that. But down below is the breakdown, right? So you're always gonna have this one, some places it's 1 1/4, but you're always gonna have that 1% tax rate.
Yeah.
That's what always kind of changes on the sales price. And then you can see what's variable taxes. So these 2 variable taxes will change with the purchase price of the property, but you can tell these are very minimal, these 2. So basically there's a 1% tax on this property. However, this is where you find all the Mellow Ruse tax or special bonds, if you guys are, wondering or if the client wants to know. So this CFD stands for Communities Facilities District, which is also a Mellow Ruse tax. So there's a $3,500 tax here and an $1,100 tax. So this property is subject to another 4,600 plus of taxes a year, right? Which, based on this current value of $1 million, it's almost another 0.4%, 0.5% tax on top of the 1%. So this tax rate's about 1.5. Now, again, if this property was bought and was sold for $2 million, this 1% would go up from 10,000 to 20,000. Your fixed rates, which are the Mello-Roos, would stay the same. So your tax rate would actually drop from that, if that makes any sense, because those are fixed.
Because the property would cost more.
So that's.
I have a question.
Mhm.
For that Melrose, how long? How would you know if, because
So,
some questions come up.
What you need to do, I mean, the best way to find out is you actually have to call and figure out, you'd have to call the county or the city, depending if it's a county or city tax, and you'd have to call and ask them, how long is this tax gonna be there for?
The Melrose.
Yeah, Mello-Roos. So
I
sometimes
know.
you can Google it and find the document and kind of read and say
Yes.
it's a 20 or 30 or 40 year
Yes,
tax.
nice to meet you as well.
But the most accurate way is you actually have to call. So you can ask us. We don't mind doing that for you. I do that for agents all the time. But they're normally, some Mello-Roos taxes are indefinite, which means as long as the city is providing that service, then that tax will stay on there indefinitely. If the city decides, if it's a landscaping tax or whatever, and they decide not to do it anymore, then they would remove it. So some are indefinite and some are bonds. That would be like 30, 40 year bonds. Yep, but we can help you find that information. Okay, this one is Altos Research. This is a QR code to sign up to where this one is if you want. This is a market. This is just all the data you guys would ever want to know about where the market is in a current area. So you can go by zip code, you can go by city, you can go by county. Great for listing presentations. These print off to a nice single page report, or you can have a multi-page report looking at it. It's everything from listing price per square foot, average days on market, if the prices are increasing or if they're decreasing. So it's just a lot of good information to have. Here is the QR code if you guys want to sign up for this link. And what you do is you sign up for an area. So you can sign up, for example, as San Bernardino County. Every Monday you get an email that you can click on and see it because it's constantly updated. And then if you ever need something more specific, like, hey, I want to know, zip code 91730 in Rancho Cucamonga, then you can put that in there and get that report as well.
And I will tell you, on Thursday, I started working with a new agent, and on Thursday, she texted me and said, I have a listing appointment on Friday with a brand new client. I've never worked with them before. They were a referral. How can I stand out and be different? I need something showing me all the data in the city of Claremont. And I'm like, it just clicked. I'm like, Altos Research. This gives you everything you want to know if you're putting in the city of Claremont and you're having a complete conversation based off of what's in front of you, showing the stats and all the information on that actual city of Claremont of what's going on. That just, the data is completely useful. It's good data. Here, look at this. This is it right here.
This is Claremont. So you could change it here. Like if I wanted to go zip code 91730 and search, then it's going to change to Rancho Cucamonga and that zip code. So you can go to any zip code or any city. Here's houses, condos, all the list on it, and then it creates these graphs. Medium list price. Now I can change this. I want to go price per. Oh, let's look at inventory. That's what inventory has looked like over the last 5 years. And then it breaks it down to you in the segments of how many. So there's properties in this market that are around from 900 up to 1.7, kind of breaks that down for you as well. What is amazing, what Marv is saying, is when you click on this share button, you can do a single page PDF or a full report that you can share. So her client pulled a full report, which you can print, save, email.
The graphs are so great, you could add it to your, print it out and add it, yeah.
I was thinking,
I also have agents that will, you'll know this, Justin, they'll put it as their green screen, scroll and scroll through it, showing the stats, and as they're speaking about it to their social media, that's gone over really, really well with this product.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
People want to know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just very clean, very beautiful. This is the full report and what it looks like. But, you know, clients want to work with knowledgeable agents, that's for sure. And so this is another beautiful one. Okay, the last
Hold on,
app,
let me take a picture of the shirt.
Is that in the app also?
No,
that's
that's
a
separate.
separate app.
Oh,
Thank
that's the
Yeah.
market one.
So separate tools for separate things. And then our final one that I'm sharing is our farming app. Did you get that? Everyone got that one?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
This one is called Geofarming SoCal Title geofarm.com. Okay, so this I've been around for a while and I've used almost probably every different farming feature out there. This is my favorite, right? I've used I've used others that we've had at SoCal Title that I don't like as well. I've used others that I've worked with at Fidelity that I don't like as well. I think if you're gonna get into farming, this is the best app to use. Now, there's basic level farming that agents can do, and then there's high level, build your business around consistent farming, which is consistent mailers or consistent phone calls or emails or NODs or deaths or divorces or whatever you're kind of creating your business around, this system can do it, right? It can be very surface level. You know, you can use it for just a few things. Like one example is it does hot movers, for example. So if you have a farm of 1,500 homes, it's going to give you the 100 homes that are most likely to sell in the next 24 months, right? So that way you're not marketing to all 1,000 homes. You could just market to the 100 that are more likely to sell. More bang for your buck, easier to invest in, things of that nature. Now, again, this is really dependent on you guys, though. This is a tool that's there if you want to use every bell and whistle. What I like to do is like one-on-one Zooms with you, help you set up a farm. On Friday, we did a class like this about 2 weeks ago. On Friday, I sat down with a new agent. We created a farm for him. He liked Hunter's Ridge in North Montana. We got him all the data that he needed for that farm, which is phones or emails. We got NOD lists for him for that farm, because that's one thing you want to focus is on NODs, expireds, canceled. And that was just to get him going. Now, if you guys are farming correctly, what's so amazing about farming is I know at times at agents, it's hard to know what to do this week. We come into the office, it's Monday, I'm excited, I want to get to work. Okay, what am I going to work on? And if you're farming correctly, it actually gives you a game plan of what you're going to do, because you know how many doors you're going to knock that week. You know how many mailers you're going to send out that week. You know how many phone calls you want to make, how many text messages you want to send, how many emails you want to send. So when you're farming, you know your system. Every Monday morning, I check for NODs in the city of Upland. That's just what I do every Monday morning. And if there's an NOD, a new one that pops up, on my way home, I go drop off this flyer, right? Like you create your system based on how you're going to want to farm. And it helps you guys create your days. It helps you create your system of how you're going to want to do that. So this is the best farming app out there. If you want to farm and you're not farming, I'm the one to talk to, I guess. So yeah, we do like one-on-one Zooms to help you guys get your farm set up.
Is geofarming on the app too?
This is a separate one as well.
Is it? Yeah.
So there's a separate website and there's a mobile app that goes with it. The mobile app is awesome because if you're like, for example, if you're door knocking, you can pull up your farm, you can pull up the property, you know who's living in the house, and then you can actually mark for like, okay, this person wasn't home. This person's not interested. Oh, this person says.
You could add notes on there.
Yeah, it's a great app for that. So I'm available if you guys want help setting up a farm. We could do that on a one-on-one Zoom. Or if there's a lot of you that want to do it, we can create a class and everyone brings their laptops and we do it together. That's another option.
Also, the time right now is a little bit different with farming. There was a lot of times when Jeremiah would run farms, like 300 to 500, records in an area, or like, let's just say you're gonna do a mass mailing and you're gonna farm about, 1,500 people, right? And whether you're gonna do door drops, you're gonna do mail, whatever it is you're gonna do. Right now, what we're noticing, what more agents are ordering is the smaller focused farm, meaning you have a property that you just sold, Jeremiah has the option to run next movers. What does that mean? That means that the algorithms are showing us that within this area, what's the radius you would say?
Probably a quarter mile.
About a quarter-mile radius around the property that either you just took a listing or you just sold. Here are the 30 to 100 clients that are potentially ready to move. Okay, so what does that mean? I think that instead of ordering a really massively big farm and not utilizing it and not touching it at all, you focus in on the next movers and you focus on those and mail to those every month, once a month, at least 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, you should be mailing, door knocking, emailing, calling, whatever it is your touches are, but you should all be hitting those. And that is attainable because it's a smaller number of people, but it's more focused. It's better. So that's kind of just my more suggestion to you. If you're gonna farm and you haven't yet, why not do next movers? Even if it's in your home area. My big thing has always been like farm, if you're not farming at all, farm your home area. Because driving out of your driveway and seeing, your neighbor just listed with an out-of-county agent is kind of like, it makes you angry. It would me, right? At least let those people know that you're, the neighborhood specialist, the agent to call.
And the secret of farming, I think, is consistency. That's it. I always tell the story of my neighbor. She's uber successful in our community of about 700 homes. I looked it up one year, a couple of years ago. She had over 6 figures in commissions just from our little community. My neighbor listed his home with her. I asked him, hey, why'd you pick her as the realtor? Because I saw her for signs fill up. And he's like, oh, I've just seen her around a lot. I know she knows the area. That's it. Wasn't because she was anything else other than he's just consistently seen her. And it does take a momentum. Like it takes a little bit to get that first listing and then a little bit of time to get the second and the third. But then as it starts to pick up, they're there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know agents like 5 years ago, no one needed to be farming. There were so many referrals out there. I think agents stopped farming, but now I know that agents are like, man, I wish I had an established farm now, right? So.
It takes a while.
Yeah. For sure. And they say like 9 to 16 months is what it takes before you're, getting a contact. And if you think about it, 9 to 16 months is a really long time, which I understand why agents fall off because it gets frustrating with not seeing any results. But if you stay in it and just remember, again, you're focusing on a smaller group of people.
Yeah, consistent.
So you have any other questions?
No, I'll have your contact info.
Okay.
If I could have that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me, let's
Is there a lot of notice of default now?
They are increasing. Yes, they are increasing. Yeah, there's more happening. I'm always kind of around notice of default